Hey, welcome everyone. Today we will show you how to create, customize, and simulate an unlimited number of tournaments including a group stage. You can go up to 3,000 teams. Okay, let's see how it works. First of all, you can choose the language from this drop-down list. You've got Spanish, French, and English. When you select it, the language is going to be displayed in this worksheet and also in all worksheets you're going to create later. Let's just put English. Here, you can select the competition type. In this very same spreadsheet, you can create league, knockout tournament, and the third one you can create is tournament with group and knockout stage. We can also see those 3 competitions in the dashboard. We've made separate tutorials for leagues or for knockout tournaments. You can check them out in next videos. Alright, but in this video we are just focusing on tournaments that include a group stage. You can choose a division number from 1 to 10. Let's just put 1. Here is the frequency of matches. This includes the frequency of matches for group stage and also the frequency of matches for knockout stage. Well, it doesn't really matter for now. You will be able to change that later directly from the dashboard. Suppose we want teams to play all other teams only once during group stage and we want them to play knockout matches over only one leg. The good thing is you can also decide if you want to include the away goal rule option or not. Suppose we do not want to include this rule for the moment. And last thing you want to do is to choose a name for your tournament. If for some reason you want to change the number of points assigned for wins, draws, and losses, you can do that if you want. But let's keep the usual 3-1-0. Those notifications are mostly here for safety purposes, like if you want to protect your scores from being canceled. But they can be turned off or on at any time inside the worksheets you're going to create, so let's stick with these settings for now. How about we create a tournament with 12 teams first? Now we've got our 12 teams typed into our list. You need to update your dashboard by clicking on Pre-Validation. So, parameters inside reflect the number of teams you actually registered. Right-click on this blue button. And now you can see your dashboard is updated. The red cell is selected and reflects your setup choices. Once it's updated, you've got those 2 drop-down lists to take care of. First, choose the number of groups you want to start with. We're going to select 4 groups of 3 teams. Then, you need to decide how many teams you want to qualify into knockout stage at the end of group stage. Say we want 8 teams to qualify into knockout stage. When you're ready, click on this blue button. Your tournament is ready to go. Let's check out how it goes. On the left, you've got your 4 group tables. You can easily see the virtually qualified teams thanks to color distinctions. On the middle, you've got your group stage fixtures. Teams will play all other teams only once like it was decided. Finally, you've got your knockout stage in a single-legged format like desired, starting from quarterfinals and ending with final. Plus, you could play the third-place match if you feel like doing it. Important thing, your teams are randomly distributed into those 4 groups, and your group stage fixtures draw are completely random. Here you can see that Bayern plays West Ham in Group 1, while Manchester United plays Barcelona in Group 2. Okay, suppose we delete this worksheet, then create a new one. This time you can see that Real Madrid plays Liverpool in Group 1, while Arsenal plays Bayern in Group 2. What if we want one group of 12 teams? When there is only one group, there is no limit to the number of teams you can qualify into knockout stage. In this example, it can go from 2 teams to 12, and your knockout stage will look like a league playoffs where only the highest-ranked teams in the table can progress to knockout stage. Suppose we want 6 of them to qualify into knockout stage. Hit the blue button again. On the left, you've got your single group table where you can see which teams is virtually qualified. On the middle, you've got your group stage fixtures. Finally, on the right side, you've got your knockout stage, starting with quarterfinals. Because 6 teams can qualify, only the 2 highest ranked teams at the end of group stage will pass one round without playing, while the 4 other teams will first play a quarterfinal match in order to advance to semifinals. Again, you can still change the number of teams you want to qualify. With 8 teams, we do have a classic quarterfinals format. On top of normal groups, you will have sometimes to deal with a repechage group in order to complete the remaining qualifying spots. It means additional teams will be saved from elimination. That would be the case if we choose 3 groups of 4 teams and if we want 8 teams to be qualified into knockout stage. You will still have 3 normal groups, except this time an additional group is displayed where 2 of the best third-ranked teams are going to be saved from elimination and join the 6 others teams who finished first and second in their group. On the right side, you have the quarterfinals where you can already see what would be the position of qualified teams in knockout stage. Qualified teams will automatically be transferred once group stage ends. What if we don't want those 3 teams to be drawn in the same group? Like, imagine we do not want PSG, Aston Villa, and Manchester United to be drawn against each other during group stage. It would be great if we could prevent this from happening. Same with Arsenal, Milan, and Manchester City. Suppose we don't want them to be drawn in the same group. Well, we'll show you a cool and simple option. Let's create pots. First, we need to come up with a new name for our tournament because we still have our worksheet named Cup 2024-2025. Okay, when you hit the blue button, the last message let you know you can create 3 pots of 3 teams. To do so, you need to type 1 in column J next to the 3 teams you want to put into pot number 1, 2 in column J next to the 3 teams you want to put into pot number 2, and so on. Well, you get the point. Type 1 for PSG, Aston Villa, and Manchester United, 2 for Arsenal, Milan, and Manchester City. And because we can make 3 pots, we're just going to type 3 for Real Madrid, Liverpool, and West Ham. The last message let you know your pots have been successfully taken into account. All right, PSG, Aston Villa, and Manchester United are indeed in 3 different groups like we wanted. Same with Arsenal, Milan, and Manchester City. And finally, Real Madrid, Liverpool, and West Ham are not playing against each other during group stage either like expected. Our pots work just fine. It could be very useful if you want to divide teams based on level and therefore improve the fairness of a group stage draw. If for some reason you want to replace a team by an unregistered team, you can do so. We can replace West Ham and put Napoli instead by putting an asterisk right here. Double-click on this button and just type Napoli. Here you go. Now the group number 2 table is updated as well as group stage fixtures. If you are not happy with the group stage draw, you are also able to swap 2 teams from 2 different groups. Let's swap Inter Milan and Bayern. Both Group 2 and 3 tables have been updated, and same goes for the group stage fixtures. You can start to validate any score you want. After you type the score in the desired cells, you can validate it by double-clicking on the orange cross. The blue cell means scores are validated. The corresponding group stage table updates every time you validate a score. The same applies to the repechage group. You are also able to change the quarterfinals order before the end of your group stage. It could be useful because the best possible knockout stage draw could be kind of tricky to find for our algorithm when there is a repechage group involved like we have right now. Let's, for example, swap these 2. Doing so, we avoid the first and second of Group 3 to play against each other in quarterfinals. Okay. Let's get back to validate group stage scores. When there is only 1 score left to validate, a message let you know that once the last score is validated, you won't be able to cancel scores anymore. But of course, as long as group stage is still ongoing, You can delete any score at any time if you made mistakes. When you validate the last one, qualified teams are automatically transferred into knockout stage. Our group stage table's algorithm follows the basic rule, so if you've got teams tied on points at the end of group stage, you might want to decide the table position between two teams from the same group tied on points using a head-to-head instead. For example, Inter Milan finished third in Group 3 and is not saved from elimination as Manchester City and PSG are the two best teams ranked third. Yet, Inter Milan have 3 points just like Manchester United. Suppose you want to swap their final position in Group 3. Just put an asterisk on column S next to both teams and double-click on this black button. Here you go. The Group 3 table is updated, and so is the Repechage group table. Inter Milan is now qualified into knockout stage. You can also swap teams inside the Group X as long as teams you want to swap are tied on points. Currently, Manchester United isn't saved from elimination, but now they are qualified instead of PSG. Because they are both qualified for being first and second, swapping Real Madrid and Arsenal in Group 1 will also swap their position in knockout stage. You might want to change the position of some teams in knockout stage. It could be useful especially when there is a Repechage group involved like we have right now. Given the fact that we only know the best teams ranked third at the end of group stage, you will probably want to avoid two teams from the same group to play against each other in quarterfinals. You can do so by swapping teams as you please. For example, we're going to swap Manchester City and Bayern. Just put asterisks in column AC, hit this button, and that's it. Keep doing this until you are completely satisfied. If for some reason you want to replace a team playing its quarterfinal by a team initially eliminated in group stage, you can do that. How about we want to eliminate Bayern? Just put an asterisk in column AC and click on this button. Instead, we want to qualify Liverpool, who was supposed to be eliminated. Click OK. That's it. The red color is displayed to underline the fact that Bayern has been eliminated despite finishing first in Group 2, while the blue color shows Liverpool being qualified despite finishing fourth. When you validate a knockout stage score by double-clicking on the orange cross, the winner automatically advances to next round. You might need penalties to decide the winner. You can play the third-place match, but it's really up to you. When you validate the final, your tournament switches from ongoing to over. You can see results on the left side, along with the best attacks and best defenses. Plus, we added a track record worksheet. This is where all your data will be stored. From here, you can filter your stats by division number or competition type. Of course, if you made a mistake, you could still cancel scores. Just double-click on blue cells, change the score, and validate it again. Results are directly updated. Suppose we want to create a tournament played over 2 legs. Just untick this one with only 1 leg, and tick the second one with 2 legs. Hit the blue button. Here is your double-legged knockout format. Both teams will play once at home and once away. In this example, you need penalties to decide the winner because we didn't include the away goal rule. So this makes sense. What if from now on we decide to include the away goal rule? To do so, you need to include it before creating a new worksheet. When playing a match in 2 legs, the lowest-ranked team is usually playing the first leg at home, while the highest-ranked team will usually play at home only in the second leg. It means that when you include the away goal rule, the highest-ranked team has the second leg home advantage. This time, penalties are not required anymore as Barcelona has scored more away goals than Liverpool, so Barcelona can advance directly to next round. Oh, and remember, you can obviously create as many worksheets as you want. You can go up to 3,000 teams, so you might want to import a list already made into our spreadsheet rather than typing all teams by yourself. It could be useful for online tournaments or for other reasons. To do so, double-click on this green button to activate the copy-paste mode. Make sure your list is available in another Excel spreadsheet and stored in a single column. Copy it, then paste it. Double-click on the orange button to get back to normal mode. Now we've got 420 teams registered. Update your dashboard. Choose the number of groups and the number of qualified teams in knockout stage you need. Then hit the blue button. You've got your tournament ready to go, and you can start validating scores like we saw before. One last thing. We also put red boxes everywhere inside this spreadsheet, meaning you can get help at any time. But like you can see, our spreadsheet is really easy to use. That's pretty much it. You can download this Excel spreadsheet by clicking the link in bio. Okay guys, thanks for watching. You can like and subscribe if you enjoyed. See you!